Hello, my beautiful, benevolent warrior brothers and heroine sisters of love and light. Today, I want to show you guys the anomaly of how these are very rare earthquakes, in the sense that, for one, this is very rare. Okay, this is not a good sign for Hawaii, because Hawaii's been an average of about 2.2. Yeah, 2.2 for the longest time now. And I had a feeling this would happen, didn't know exactly when, and this is not a good area either. For one, this is where the Kilauea area is at, and this is where the vents were at in 2018. Here's where the Helena slump is, this curve here. This thing goes down really deep, even on that side too, but this one has collapsed before and is forecasted to be collapsing soon sometime. Soon can be tomorrow, or it can be 100 years from now. You know, that's technically soon when you think about geological, or I should say more of the age of the planet or whatnot. So anyhow, here's the anomaly of how energy works. And this is why I said it's strange earthquakes, because one thing is we know is they're earthquakes. They're really there. That's not that deep. See, this one's really deep. This one, 10, when they show it as a flat 10 opposed to, look at this, 52.37, how accurate they get. 12. Usually they're not a full number like that. Most of the times there's like point something, right? And they show whatever else. Well, this one, where it's like that, let's see if the other one's most likely 10 as well. Yep, exactly. That means this is really deep. And let's see. This one was the most recent one, 4.4. And then the 4.3 was 7 hours ago. I knew it. Okay, so what happened was this one was first, the orange one, and then was this one, and now, oh no, then this one. So that means energy went back through and came out over here. Why do I say that? These are exact antipodes of each other. Antipodes meaning if this was a technical globe we were looking at, and I shoot an arrow through a styrofoam globe and I hit it there, it's gonna, the other end is gonna come out here. How do I know that? Check this out, the antipode, okay? So what is here? This is California, right? Baja, West Coast, Alaska. This is Hawaii. If we take off the solidness of this and see through it, where do we go? Directly straight through. And this is very odd. This is how powerful this energy was. It went so quick, okay, from here 29 minutes ago to here 7 minutes ago. That's the fastest I've seen that travel ever. You know what's the average traveling time? At least a good 9 hours to almost 4 days or so. Okay, it takes to do that. When I've been finding that in the past 5 to 6 years, even though I've been monitoring this for over about 8 years or so. Okay, so it's never done that quick. Okay, and look at it. They're very near each other magnitude-wise. 4.4. Remember, this one was first. Okay, and the first one was that powerful, 4.4. By the time I come out of here, naturally, it didn't build up energy. It lost energy because it was traveling through the whole entire Earth, the crust, everything. Now, the other thing why I say this is a very powerful jolt of energy that went through us, that went through the panic, which means there's going to be some freaking insane havoc with seismic activity and volcanism this next week. Mark my words. Where is it at? I'm trying to, I think. Hold on. I'm looking at, yeah, it's this one. Yep, check this out. This was just 2 days ago. And there's been many more that have erupted like this where, yeah, it's not like a huge explosion, but look, this is going to continue going up for over like at least a good 7,000 to 9,000 feet. Sorry. Meters. Yeah, feet of elevation. Okay, and not only that, that stays there for several days, and it covers the sun, it messes with the plant life, it messes with human life, consciousness. Haven't you heard that Russia, Alaska, meaning areas where the sun doesn't shine very much and there's darkness for quite some time, on the closer to the top of the world, there's a bigger, higher suicide rate. Why? Because of that. Because there's not enough sunlight, because it's too much darkness. Darkness is like equivalent, mirror neurons kick in, equivalent to the what depression is like, what depression brings. So then the mirror neurons kick in and say, oh, we must be depressed. So then they start to get the depressed symptoms, whether they are depressed or not. So anyhow, as you can see, okay, this just happened just recently, okay. Etna has erupted. What was the other one? Cinnabon, I think it was, or Krakatau. So one of them in the Indonesia area as well erupted recently, like this. I mean, way higher than this though, but still like this. There's one in Guatemala, okay, also that threw up a lot like that, a lot of particulates into the air. Not magma. A few of them did release pyroclasmic, I think is what it's called, pyroclasmic plumes, pyroclasmic flow, where it looks like gray water flow. Okay, so now you see how that energy went straight through. Oh, and what I was going to say, the reason why I say it's very powerful. Usually, keep your eye right there, right dead center. Keep your eye on it, dead center. All right, so it's right here, almost at this cross line. Usually, it's a bigger deviance, okay, which would be something like this. Usually, it comes out that far away from the exact antipode, meaning the opposite side, right there where it first entered. Usually comes out about that diameter, exactly that diameter, okay, somewhere within there. Obviously, it won't happen over here because there is no fault lines over here like there is here. Reason why there was an earthquake here is because there's a huge vent here, meaning this is what created the islands. The vent stays there. The crustal displacement that moves is what created the islands there, created these islands here. Just like, in case you guys didn't know, the Yellowstone technically started over here, in the sense that, again, well, yeah, right there where that earthquake is at, okay, but the vent, the huge hole in the earth, did not move. The crust moved, this way. It came this way, and which made the original. So imagine this being what is now Yellowstone, meaning what created Yellowstone, okay? But the original area, but since the crust moved this way, now it ended up here technically, even though the vent never moves. Hopefully that makes sense. So here, the biggest one, this is where the vent didn't move for thousands and thousands and thousands, meaning like several hundred, maybe even almost 1,000,000 years. The smaller ones, were very short times, like periods of 30,000 years, 70,000 years, things like that it moved and then it stayed. And then something catastrophic happened to where the crustal displacement, the crust started to displace and move, shift and all that very drastically for several years for XYZ reason. And then again, it stopped for many thousands of years. And this is how, and then, when it stops, for many thousands of years, all that volcanic activity, all that release, the magma being released eventually accumulates, and then it creates those hills, those islands, those mountains that we now call Hawaii Islands. So anyhow, like I said, usually it comes out that far away. This time it came out that close. That means that energy came very fast, and we did just have a CME hit us. Okay, look, coronal mass ejection coming from the sun. Okay, not an insane amount, but still the energy of it hit us. and it was what was it, 2 days ago that it hit us. This is that energy that happened. Okay, so anyhow, now you see, man, this is not good, guys. That means for the West Coast, we're gonna get something over here. Cause let's see if they still have the one that happened up here. No, they don't, but they'll show here. What is it? A 4.5 that happened at the Oregon and California coast right here, which is where a huge fault line is at. As you can see, they show it here. I was trying to take that off, but you can't. So you can see the lines of the Juan de Fuca fault line right here. This one here, it's a crazy line, but that's where that line went up that way and then eventually ended up there. The same curves, all of them make. Okay, something drastic hit that made these lines here. Notice how this curve, it almost followed the lines of the actual sphere, okay? But that curvature is the same one that's over here by the Russian islands as well. But again, follow this curvature from here to here. Look, I'm not even doing it on purpose, but look, it ends up right at the Wyoming line of the Yellowstone. Okay, so anyhow, there's that. Hopefully I entertained you enough to where this wasn't boring, so that you can fully understand how energy blasts through Earth. So earthquakes are not just only coming from the center on out, as most earthquakes do. Sometimes earthquakes are caused by external energy that is blasting through us. And right now the energies are so amped up. There's so many weird stuff happening with different planets all over the universe, but all over our solar system itself. Okay, in case you didn't know, Uranus, I think is it Neptune? So Pluto lost all its atmosphere all of a sudden. Because it did have an atmosphere, or I forgot what it was called, but there was a layer above Pluto that all of a sudden disappeared now. Okay, if that were to happen to us, holy moly, and it has before. This is why these things have happened in such a drastic time. These tiny islands were not much. The crust was moving quick. Okay. Over here it stopped. It stopped for billions or millions of years, I should say, not billions. Well, I don't know. I can't remember how old the actual planet is, but I know it's millions of years. This is where it stopped. That's what made all these countries, these huge vents where magma gets released. But anyhow, so like I was saying, is whoa, look at that. Where's this? Oh goodness, that's a deep one too. Let's see where the antipode to that is at. Okay, basically above the Horn of Africa, next to Greece. So above the Horn of Africa. So most likely is this one, and if not, it will be that one. But still, let's see. Okay, so Indonesia, Tonga's gonna get it bad in the next 12 hours the most. They're gonna have at least a 5.6 or so, and I can tell you that because of this. And let's see how deep it is. Look at that, deep. Okay, that means this means it's deeper than 599 kilometers, because that's their limit. They cannot go deeper than 600 kilometers. So when they have a flat 10 opposed to an act like a detailed number like that. Look at that, 0.52, 113.52 kilometers deep. This one, when it's just a solid number like this, especially the 10, that's a protocol number that it just plays when something's deeper than 599 kilometers. And I can tell because of what I just proved to you here. Both of this one's not, because that's the exit. But usually, so this is the entrance point. When was it? 36 minutes ago, opposed to this one. And this one's what? 15 minutes. Was that a different one? Oh, okay. So this one wasn't there, but it just got populated just recently because there was only these two. And the timing is like, wait, what? How is this one? Because this one came after the turkey one. If you rewind it, you'll see that this one wasn't here. It was only these two. But then this one appeared, and I was wondering, like, wait, how does this one came out later? Meaning this one's more recent and this one's way later. It's because something that huge that it hit in two different spots, man. And what was the exit point? So right here, yeah, see it matches. The exit point somewhere over here, the one I said. So yeah, it's technically over here, yes, exactly like this. It's over here, but there's no fault line here. But Tonga Islands always gets hits because that's another vent point, an old volcano, or still. The point is Tonga has been getting hit quite frequently with average of 5.2 or so, at least 7 to 10 per week in the past 7 months or so. And I repeated those numbers, and I'm not making that up. It really is. It might even be 10 months ago. I wanted to say even longer, but I was like, because it is true. But if for those of you who can consider, who kind of can calculate what that might mean, that's an insane amount of energy, and you would be as concerned as I am. I'm not worried because we have no control over this. What's causing this and what's the culprit of it, another, and what's going to be the true effects of it after. Because this is only the beginning of it. We still have to wait till the true effects, even though we see true after effects. But no, this is, as we're talking, these energies haven't been like this ever. These energies, where it's average of these many like that, the average is freaking nearly 4.8 or so. 2 weeks ago, it was 5. 2 weeks before that, it was back to what it is now. So hopefully this means it's dwindling down. But from what this just showed us, that means it's amping up. It's coming back. So anyhow, gotta get going. I said enough. I explained enough. Peace may be with you at all times. Have contingency plans ready. And peace will definitely be with you. At least more than what your neighbors will be experiencing, because at least you'll be ready and you'll be able to delegate information, responsibilities, whatever they may be, because you never know how long you might be under chaos or not necessarily, well, yeah, destruction in the sense, what if a big enough earthquake happens and you live in an area where it's like historic or whatnot, and it's just old buildings, and some of them actually technically do crumble, and they causes some kind of disruption in the community where it's difficult for vehicles to come in and out. What if it's not just community based, but it's more just city based, and supplies can't come in and out for over a week or so because there's enough damage to disrupt the flow of the delivery and stuff like that. So this is what I'm saying. If you have contingency plan ready to go, you won't panic because you ran out of milk and this and that, and because you're prepared with whatever it may be that you need for your family. You see what I'm saying? And other families will be panicking and trying to get to the store, and everybody bought out things because they don't know how long it's going to last, and they bought many things. So you see what I'm saying? You won't even have to deal with those people because you don't have to go anywhere to get anything, because you have non-perishables and enough liquids to where you don't have to go out and and scavenge for these resources and stuff. So anyhow, now you see all this hit around the same time. There's a lot of energy hitting. That's not good. All right, we're gonna expect at least a 5 very soon somewhere, if not another 4.3, and most likely is gonna be over here sometime soon, within the next hour, because I think it's gonna replicate this action here. I mean, it has to. So we'll see if something hits over here soon. Peace may be with you at all times. One love.